Welcome. This
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर के जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री आसादि गौर भक्त वृंद के जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vardhana, welcoming all of you to the early morning Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your intense chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name, which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To construct the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious rhythmic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities karma panda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be met into while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must not ignore these offenses in order to achieve the desired Bhakti Krishna Prema. Once again, thank you very much for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today, and I welcome all of you. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
हरे कृष्ण वर्धमान माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। प्रिय आशिक हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, Dandavats Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavats Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavats Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to all of the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Priti Vilasni Mataji. Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasni Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Does anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Advaita Chandra Das here, Danvat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Advaita Chandra Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Gauri Dasi Samshad.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
And also Mataji, one announcement like the daylight saving time is starting from tomorrow. So tomorrow our call will start 1 hour early. So everybody knows, yeah.
Yeah, Mataji. Thank you so much for reminding us, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Radha Damodar Nath from Austin, Texas. Please accept the humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the humble devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Damodar Prabhuji and Atmamaya Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Radhika from Baltimore. Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidas from Raj.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
The recording has started.
Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Advaita Chandra Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 24th chapter, 48th verse. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll hand out the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for providing this opportunity to serve all of you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, Text 40. Arthalingaya nabhase namontar bahiratmane namah punyaya lokaya anushmai bhuri varchashe. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, by expanding your transcendental vibrations, you reveal the actual meaning of everything. You are the all-pervading sky within and without, and you are the ultimate goal of pious activities executed both within this material world and beyond it. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto you. Purport. Vedic evidence is called Shabda Brahma. There are many things which are beyond the perception of our imperfect senses, yet the authoritative evidence of sound vibration is perfect. The Vedas are known as Shabda Brahma because evidence taken from the Vedas constitutes the ultimate understanding. This is because Shabda Brahma or the Vedas represents the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, the real essence of Shabda Brahma is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By vibrating this transcendental sound, the meaning of everything, both material and spiritual, is revealed. This Hare Krishna is not different from the personality of Godhead. The meaning of everything is received through the air, through sound vibration. The vibration may be material or spiritual, but without sound vibration, no one can understand the meaning of anything. In the Vedas, it is said, Antarbahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthita. Narayana is all pervading, and he exists both within and without. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 13:34. Yatha prakashat yatyekah कृत्स्नं लोकम् imam ravi kshetram kshetri tatha कृत्स्नं prakashayati bharata. O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so do all the living entity and the supersoul illuminate the entire body by consciousness. In other words, the consciousness of both the soul and the supersoul is all pervading. The limited consciousness of the living entity is pervading the entire material body, and the supreme consciousness of the Lord is pervading the entire universe. Because the soul is present within the body, consciousness pervades the entire body. Similarly, because the Supreme Soul or Krishna is present within this universe, everything is working in order. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 10. Lord Shiva is therefore praying to the personality of Godhead to be kind to us, so that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we can understand everything in both the material and spiritual worlds. The word amushmai is significant in this regard because it indicates the best target one can aim for after attaining the higher planetary systems. Those who are engaged in fruitive activities, karmis, attain the higher planetary systems as a result of their past activities. And the jnanis who seek unification or a monistic merging with the effulgence of the Supreme Lord also attain their desired end, but in the ultimate issue, the devotees who desire to personally associate with the Lord are promoted to the Vaikuntha Lokas or Goloka Vrindavan. The Lord is described in Bhagavad Gita as Pavitram Paramam, the supreme pure. This is also confirmed in this verse. Shukadev Goswami has stated that the cowherd boys who played with Lord Krishna were not ordinary living entities. Only after accumulating many pious activities in various births does one get the opportunity to personally associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since only the pure can reach him, he is the supreme pure. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. In this particular verse, Lord Shiva is actually praying. This is a prayer of Lord Shiva. And there are many kinds of prayers, but prayer is a way of developing our relationship with the Lord. And if you see all of the prayers, the format of all the prayers is always that the person who is praying, if you see Kunti Maharani's prayers, Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, the prayers of the Damodar Ashtakam prayers, prayers of Lord Brahma, prayers of the Vedas to Lord Krishna, so many different prayers. They always have a particular format. First, they glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the next set of prayers would be expressing how we are so fallen and how much we are dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And then it asks for a special spiritual benediction. The prayer asks for shelter to the Supreme Lord and expressing how grateful we are for your shelter, because we don't even deserve it. And still, you're providing that shelter. And here also, Lord Shiva is explaining in the same way. He's glorifying the Lord, saying that he's glorifying by expanding your transcendental vibrations. You reveal the actual meaning of everything. That's your potency. He's glorifying. And you are the ultimate goal. You are all pervading. And he's explaining how, therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances again and again. When we say obeisances means namaha. When we say namaha means it comes from the word na mama. Na mama. Na means no, mama means mine. Namaha means na mama, it's not mine. Whatever I have is not mine. I offer it to you, it's yours. That's why it comes namaste. Namaste means in the Vedic culture, we say also namaste. And namaste means namaha te. Namaha means na mama te, yours. Which means when a guest comes, the host is saying, I'm so grateful that you came. All this house that you've come to is not mine. It belongs to you. And that's the hospitality. Please feel free to think to do whatever in this house. Because the understanding is that everything in this house belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. We acknowledge that. And when a guest comes, we are extending that same courtesy. He's not God, but he is as good as God to that person. So therefore, in some sense, it is tricky to say namaste, to greet everyone with namaste, because then we are actually saying this all belongs to you. And if the guest takes it literally, we might get into trouble. So therefore, it's better to invite everyone by saying Hare Krishna, because then it's safer. We are saying, yes, we all belong to Krishna. Let's take shelter of Krishna. But anyway, jokes aside, uh, this is the pattern of prayers that we must follow. When we go to have darshan of the deities, or whenever we are praying, if we are praying from the heart, then we should make sure that before we come to the point of requesting spiritual benedictions, we must follow the etiquette to please the Lord by glorifying Him. Because that's the purpose of our existence. That's the reason we are separated part and parcels of the Lord. Our constitutional position is just to glorify the Lord. That's how we get connected with the Lord, as in the mood of servant of the servant. That's our constitutional position. We cannot change that no matter what. So, first we glorify the Lord, then we express our fallen condition and how much need of shelter we have. And then we ask for that spiritual benediction, which ultimately, in different forms, but ultimately the essence is to ask for shelter. Here he's and to be grateful to be offered shelter. Respectful obeisances means I'm grateful, I'm thankful. Dandavat pranam, I'm prostrated obeisances. I'm going all out like a danda. I'm surrendered to you like a stick. And that's why it is best to offer prayers, repeat the prayers of the previous acharyas and of the great devotees. Because in our consciousness, sometimes we are so eager to get to that benediction that we do not follow the etiquette which will actually please the Lord. Even prayers are there for the pleasure of the Lord. And when we sing these bhajans like Gopinath, like of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur, they bring us in that proper consciousness. So here Lord Shiva is explaining that by expanding your transcendental vibrations, you reveal the actual meaning of everything. And Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport about the Shabda Brahma. Vedic evidence is called Shabda Brahma. There are Srila Rupa Goswami, he describes in his Satsandarbhas that there are primarily three ways of acquiring knowledge. There are many ways, hundreds of ways of acquiring knowledge, but all of them can be categorized into three ways: Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, and Shabda Praman. Pratyaksha Praman means evidence. Evidence from our senses, evidence that we gather from our senses. Seeing is believing. That's Pratyaksha Praman. Meaning I can see it, yes, then I believe it. But many times we see so many illusions, like when we are driving and there is sun up there, we can see some mirage, feel that there's some water there. We see water, but actually there's no water. It's just the reflection of the sun. So seeing is not really believing. According to according to the Vedas, to the Vedic culture, hearing is believing. Hearing from the proper authority is believing. But Pratyaksha Praman is also one Praman. It's not like everything we see is illusory. But yes, we see something and then the way we interpret could be illusory. So, and our senses are imperfect. And because the senses are imperfect, we may come to imperfect conclusions. Our eyes cannot even see our eyelids. So we may come to imperfect conclusions. If we want absolute truth, if we want relative truths, yes, we can believe, or uh, we can believe in our senses. But if we want absolute truth, we have to go beyond the perception of the senses. And what's the next way of acquiring knowledge? That's Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman means knowledge through inference. And Srila Prabhupada, he explains the story of six blind men, how these six blind men were taken in front of an elephant, and one of them stood before the trunk of the elephant, one of them was on top of the elephant and holding the ears, another was on the legs of the elephant, the other was holding the tail of the elephant. And they were all trying to determine by inference what this thing is. The person who was near the trunk, he was thinking, oh, this is a big hose pipe, probably. And then the person who was near the ears, holding the ears, he was like, this seems like a sieve where you separate the grains from the chaff. And another person who was near the legs, he was thinking, wow, these look like big, huge pillars. Maybe we are in a big palace which has these pillars, because they were looking at something, they were feeling something, and based on that, they were inferring, extrapolating what this could be. But then when but then their inference was wrong, because all of them were looking at the elephant from different perspectives. So even in the absolute, for absolute truth, for understanding the absolute truth, Anuman Praman is also not enough. And therefore, we must take shelter of the Shabda Praman, which is knowledge from the authoritative sources. Hearing from authority. We can hear, but we have to first make sure that we are hearing from a proper authority. And the Vedic scriptures are the proper authority, which has been explained in so many different ways. And the essence of this Shabda Praman is Hare Krishna mantra, because the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can reveal everything. There was a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His name was Srila Akinchan Das Babaji Maharaj. And when he joined the temple of Gaudiya Math, he would just sit and chant. And all the devotees would get very disturbed that why is this person, he doesn't do any service, and he just comes at the time of prasadam and then goes back to chanting, then again comes back. Next time we see him is during prasadam. There is no service. And it happened one day, next day, 1 month, and then after a few months, devotees went and complained to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This Akinchan Das, he just keeps chanting. He never does any service at the temple. So what should we do about it? Maybe we should ask him to just leave. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, no, he is actually executing the purpose of why this temple is being built. If all of you can do what Akinchan Das is doing, then I will make you and feed you your entire life. Can you do what he's doing? Can you sit whole day and chant the Hare Krishna mantra and nothing else? It's not so easy. So this is the potency of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. It reveals everything from within. Um, because just by chanting, one time there is a story of Akbar and Birbal. Birbal was a devotee of Lord Ram and he would chant the name of Ram. So Akbar and Birbal were strolling and they went into a dense forest near a village. And Akbar was saying, I'm feeling really hungry. I don't know what we should do. Can we go around? And Birbal said, let's just chant the name of Ram and everything will be provided. Akbar said, no, we have to do some effort. Unless we do any effort, how can we get food? Birbal said, I don't know. I have faith in Lord Ram. I'll just sit and chant. And Birbal just sat and chanted Ram, Ram, Ram. And then Akbar, he said, I'm going to go. He went to the nearby village. And there, as soon as the villagers saw that the king has come, they welcomed him and they gave him food and items. And then Akbar remembered Birbal and he said, let me pack some food for Birbal. He packed some food and went to Birbal and said, look, you were sitting here, you couldn't arrange for any food. Whereas I went and I did this effort, and with my effort, I have brought you food. And so Birbal said, look, this is the glory of the name of Lord Ram. I didn't have to do anything. I just chanted the name of Lord Ram, and the king himself brought me the food. So this is the glory of Lord Ram's names. But this is true. When we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we connect with the Supreme Lord. Then it is explained later that the super soul, it illuminates our entire body. The soul and the super soul, they illuminate the entire body of consciousness. And when we chant, we get connected with the super soul. In fact, not just the Paramatma, but the Bhagavan aspect of the Lord, which includes the Paramatma aspect. Because Krishna is waiting. Krishna is actually more eager for us to return to him than we are to return to him. So we give a little bit of an inkling. Krishna says, wow, he wants to return to me. He suddenly makes all arrangements so that we can get back to him. And that is the potency of the Hare Krishna mantra. Once we chant Hare Krishna, immediately Krishna is like, whoa, that's my dear son or daughter or my dear soul who is calling out for me. Let me make some conditions so that he or she can progress in spiritual life. Because super soul witnesses everything. Super soul, he's the Anumanta, he's the Drashta, he's the one who observes, he's the one who gives permission for us to even lift our hand or even battle our eyelids. All of that. There's a saying that on a dark night, on a black rock, a black ant, no one can see, but the super soul can see. When I was small, I also heard that the pimple on the dimple or the right cheek of a baby ant, no one can see, but the super soul can see, the Paramatma can see. Paramatma witnesses every activity, every thought, and when we chant the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. The super soul is so excited to interact. And based on our consciousness, he will reveal everything to us. He reveals everything that we are doing to our guru based on uh, based on the connection of the guru with the super soul. And such was the consciousness of a great soul like Srila Madhavendra Puri. Yesterday was the disappearance day of Srila Madhavendra Puri, and we will discuss today some of his glories of Sri Madhavendra Puri, how he how he exemplified this selfless mood of service, because of which Krishna was so pleased that he revealed himself to Srila Madhavendra Puri. This process of revelation that Lord Shiva is talking about is the essence of Krishna consciousness. There is also a verse that, um, starting from the tongue, it is, if we engage in devotional service, then everything, the purports of the Vedic scriptures are revealed to us. So Sri Madhavendra Puri, he was the grand spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya. He was the spiritual master of Srila Ishvara Puri, who was the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One time when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going from uh, Shantipur to Jagannath Puri, because in Shantipur he went and visited Lord Sri Advaita Acharya, and he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Advaita Acharya said, well, it's better that you go to Jagannath Puri. Your mother can also be able to understand and know about your doings. And Jagannath Puri is not different than Sri Vrindavan Dham. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri. On his way to Jagannath Puri, he went to the um he went to the temple in Remuna, and there he had darshan of the deity of Sri Gopinath. And as soon as he entered the deity, having darshan of the deity of Sri Gopinath, he paid obeisances to Sri Gopinath ji, to his at his lotus feet. He caught his lotus feet and paid obeisances. Just then, a helmet of flowers fell on the head of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt that, he felt that transcendental ecstasy out of gratefulness. I don't deserve this. You gave the flower. It is said that when a flower falls from the deity, when we are having darshan, then he is actually hearing our prayers, and our prayers would be answered, that he's pleased with us. So the helmet of flowers fell from Gopinath's head. They fell upon the head of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this completely transformed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart into such a grateful state of love that he started beautiful kirtan, dancing in ecstasy. And then all the pujaris and the village people, they all gather around because they had never seen such grace, such transformation of divine love, such beauty that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was exhibiting. And the whole night they were having kirtan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the pujari and he said, can I get some Mahaprasad? He was there with four of his associates. He was very anxious to receive the famous form of Mahaprasad, because in Remuna to Gopinath, every day they offer Gopinath 12 earthen pots of sweet rice. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to taste that. And so while they were all waiting, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and four of his other associates, he narrated to the devotees the story that he had heard from his spiritual master Ishvara Puri about the glories of Sri Madhavendra Puri and his devotional service. And he said, do you know why this deity of Gopinath is known as Kshira Chora Gopinath? Gopinath who stole the sweet rice. Everyone said, no, we want to know. And so then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described, and this is all in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, because it is said, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grayam indriya, which means we cannot understand the glories of the holy name by these blunt senses, grayam indriya. Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grayam indriya. So therefore we must hear, and all the devotees were hearing. Here it was then described that Sri Madhavendra Puri, one time he was traveling to Vrindavan, and he came upon a hill, of course, which we know as Sri Govardhan Hill. And when he saw the Govardhan Hill, which is non-different from the body of Sri Krishna, he was completely maddened in transcendental love. Sometimes he would stand up, sometimes he would fall, sometimes he would cry tears from the heart of ecstasy. This was the first time in our sampradaya, in the Brahma Madhva sampradaya, that someone was exhibiting transcendental love, of conjugal love between Radha and Krishna. Because the Govardhan Hill is considered to be Krishna as well as the greatest servant of Krishna, both. Because when during the Annakut, when all the devotees came from the different villages in and around Vrindavan and started offering foodstuff to Govardhan, Krishna assumed the form of Govardhan, and he started honoring all the bhoga, and he started saying Aniyor, Aniyor. So even though Govardhan Hill is a devotee of Krishna, but because Krishna assumed the form of Govardhan Hill at that time in front of everyone and accepted all the offerings, and he wouldn't stop, and all the sweets and all the savories and all preparations were just, the stock was getting over. But Krishna was going, Aniyor, 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 bring me more. And so one devotee, he came, he put a tulsi leaf on the offerings. And then Krishna, in the form of Govardhan Hill, was completely satisfied. So this is the glory of offering tulsi leaf. If we want to satisfy Krishna, we do it with humility, that we don't have any capacity to offer anything to you. Everything belongs to you. But please, please accept this offering. I don't deserve to give it, but please accept it. And look, here I'm putting Tulsi Maharani. She will satisfy you. I don't have any capacity to satisfy you. I'm only doing this to please my Guru. On behalf of my Guru, he has instructed me. On behalf of my Guru, I'm serving you. Because he's not here, he has kindly asked me to serve you in this way. I'm not qualified. When we think like that I'm not qualified, then we become qualified in Krishna's eyes. If we think we are qualified, then we become disqualified in Krishna's eyes. So we should always consider, I do not deserve to perform this service. I'm not qualified. This doesn't mean that we are having low self esteem, but this means that we are being honest. I'm really not qualified to serve Krishna. If we know who Krishna is, how great Krishna is, we will immediately understand our insignificant uh, position. And then to be able to allow to serve that infinite, we are not qualified. We should just be honest. Humility is not artificial, it is nothing but honesty. When we think that we are great, that is being dishonest because we are not. We are not great. Only those who are grateful, they are great. And they are grateful because they are honest, and in their honesty, they realize how insignificant we are. And that's humility. Humility is just that. And that's what Sri Madhavendra Puri demonstrated. Because he saw Krishna in the form of Sri Govardhan. And he was the first one to actually exhibit the Madhurya Ras and reveal the Madhurya Ras. It was revealed to him again. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grayam indriya sevon mukhe hi jehvadav swayam eva sfurati yada. Which means from these blunt senses it cannot be revealed. But when we serve sevon mukhe hi jehvadav, then it is revealed. And that's how Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotion made Krishna to reveal that conjugal love in our sampradaya. Sevon Mukehi Jivado, starting from the jiva, starting from the tongue. What do we do with tongue? We do two things: tasting and chanting and talking. If we engage both of these in Krishna's service, if we engage the sense of taste by only tasting Krishna Prasad, and we engage the propensity to speak in only glorifying the Supreme Lord and chanting His holy names, then the actual purport, Swayam eva sfurati yada. Swayam, automatically, on its own. Sfurati, it's revealed. Krishna consciousness is revealed. And so Sri Madhavendra Puri, he circumambulated Sri Govardhan Hill on the revelation of this conjugal love. And after that, he went to Govindakund. Govindakund is a place where Indra came after he was humiliated by Krishna. His pride was smashed because he wanted to destroy all of Braja. Just because the Brajbasis did not offer oblations to Indra, but instead to Govardhan on the instruction of Lord Krishna. So he had torrents of rain. He sent torrents of rain, the Samatarka clouds. And Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill with the little finger of his left hand, called all the cows, all the Brajbasis under the hill. They safely remained there for 7 days while the thunder and the rains and all of these things were pouring down. And then Indra understood my position. This small 7-year-old child is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he approached Surabhi cow. Please, I've done a big mistake. I don't have any qualification to go directly to even ask and beg forgiveness from the Lord. You please come with me and petition on my behalf. So Surabhi, just like a spiritual master petitions on behalf of the disciple, Surabhi petitioned to the Lord, please. He understands his mistakes. He accepts it. Please forgive him. Because Krishna would not even look at little Krishna. He would not even look at Indra. the king of the heavens. But because Surabhi petitioned on behalf of Indra, Krishna said, okay, I forgive you, don't do this anymore. Because Krishna can tolerate everything in a devotee. But one thing that he does not tolerate is pride. He cannot tolerate pride in his devotee. And whenever in our thoughts, in our mind, we start having this thought of pride and we start glorifying ourselves, then Krishna does some things to bring humility. And that is his mercy. But we should not make Krishna take us through that kind of mercy, unless Krishna wants himself to demonstrate it to others. But in our mind, whenever this thought of pride comes, we should immediately say, just depend on Krishna, just depend on Krishna. Krishna, please hold his lotus feet. Chant Hare Krishna. This pride is overcoming me. I'm starting to think that I'm great. I'm starting to believe what others are telling about me. That because in the association of devotees, everyone glorifies each other. And then the biggest illusion is when we start believing that. And then pride enters our heart. We should accept whatever they're saying and immediately pass it on to Guru. Whatever I'm able to do is only because of the mercy of the Guru. Mercy means something that I do not deserve. My Guru is enabling me to do this, not because I'm some great person, but because he is merciful. I don't deserve, I've not done anything for this, but still he's giving me this opportunity. So I should be thankful, grateful, take this opportunity with both my hands. This is a gift. Gift is something which I have not done anything to deserve this gift. It's not a payment, it's a gift. We should keep this gift very, very carefully, this gift of Krishna consciousness, by protecting it from all sides, from pride. And then Indra performed the Abhishek ceremony of Lord Krishna in Govindakund. When we were in the Vrajmandal Parikrama last year, we had a resting stop at Govindakund. It was such a beautiful place. And just thinking, Sri Madhavendra Puri was there in the same place. He took bath in Govindakund, and then he came out and he rested under the tree. And under a huge tree, right under Govardhan Hill, Radha Raman Maharaj and several other Maharajas were giving Bhagavad Katha. We reached Govindakund at about 7:30 in the morning. And from 7:30 to 8:39, there were so many devotees right below the Govardhan Hill we could see, and there was a huge banyan trees around. And in there, the Bhagavatam class was going on. It's such a wonderful experience, the memories that just stay with us during this Vrajmandal Parikrama. And now, recollecting that Sri Madhavendra Puri was there, right there, possibly under that same tree, he was taking rest and chanting Hare Krishna. So, after taking bath, Madhavendra Puri sat beneath that tree to take his rest. And while he was sitting under that tree, an unknown cowherd boy, he came to Madhavendra Puri with a pot of milk. And with a very beautiful smile, just a little boy, he said, please drink this milk. I brought for you. Why are you begging? Why are you not begging? Why are you not eating? Are you doing some meditation? And he was speaking in such broken language. And Madhavendra Puri was completely captivated by this young boy. He was like completely satisfied. And Madhavendra Puri just ignored his questions and said, who are you? Where do you live? Lala? Kahan rehta hai? Kidhar ko gaon hai? In Vraj Bhasha, they speak like that. Where do you reside? And how did you know that I was fasting? How come? How did you know that? And so this boy said, well, I'm a cowherd boy. I reside in this nearby village. He pointed there. And in my village, no one fasts. No one allowed to fast. If you want food, you beg, you get food. But no fasting. If no food no one gets, I will give you all eatables. In this broken English, sorry, in broken Braj Bhasha, he was explaining all these things. And the woman there saw you, so they sent me to give you this milk. And so I have to go back. You drink milk, I come back, I take pot. And so Madhavendra Puri, he was just looking at this young boy. Who's this attractive boy? And he drank milk and he was waiting patiently, eagerly. When will this boy come back for his milk? And so he was waiting and he started chanting Hare Krishna. He washed the pot, he put it aside, he looked towards the path, he was chanting Hare Krishna eagerly, and he was looking forward to this boy coming back. But the boy never came back. And then Madhavendra Puri, he sat under a tree, he started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he was crying and begging for mercy. He chanted till it became dark. And then in the night, he dozed a little bit. And as he was sleeping, in his dream, Madhavendra Puri saw the same boy who came to him holding his hand. This boy in the dream took him into the jungle. The same boy who gave him the milk came in his dream, holding his hand. He took him to the jungle, and then he showed to Madhavendra Puri a bush. And he said, you know what? I reside in this bush. And because of being in this bush, I suffer cold, rain, showers, wind, scorching heat. So please, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, please, Haribol, please bring the people of village and get me out of this bush. And tell them that once you take me out of the bush, take me to the top of the hill, construct a nice temple, install me in that temple. After that, he gave, lots of instructions. You wash me with cold water so that my body will be clean. Then I've been observing. I've been waiting for you, Madhavendra Puri. Do you know my name? You asked, who are you? My name is Gopal. I'm the lifter of Govardhan Hill. I reside in this bush, and here I was installed by Vajranab. But when the Mohammedans came, when the Mughal rulers came to plunder this village of Vrindavan, they attacked the priests who were serving me. They hid me behind this bush and they ran away out of fear of the attack. And it's very good that you've come here. Please remove me with care. And saying this, the boy just disappeared in the dream. And Madhavendra Puri woke up. He said, was this real? What just happened? And then he realized, I saw Gopal. Gopal came to give me milk. And in the dream, it was the same Gopal. And he fell down to the ground in ecstatic love. He cried, but then he suddenly woke up and he said, no, I cannot, even though I'm feeling ecstasy, service to the Lord is much higher than experiencing my own ecstasy. I have to give ecstasy to Krishna. That is our purpose. Whether we get ecstasy or not, our ecstasy is to see that Krishna is in ecstasy. So he fixed his mind on executing the order of Gopal, and because the devotee is more concerned with executing the order of Guru and Krishna than enjoying our own ecstasies. So Sri Madhavendra Puri, he fixed his mind, and after taking his morning bath, he entered the village. He assembled all the people. He spoke to them about this bush. They all found that place where the bush was, where little Gopal had took him, where Govardhan Dhari was lying in the bushes. Madhavendra Puri said, let's go and rescue him from that place. The bushes were very dense. So they said, get some choppers and get some axe and all these things. and spades to clear the way and recover the deity of Gopal. And there, when they removed all the bushes, they saw the deity. It was covered with dirt and grass that was stuck with all over. And so they cleansed the deity, body of Gopal, and then they realized this deity is so heavy, no one could move him. So some of the stronger men, it took several men to come and lift the deity on top of the hill. And then a big stone was made for a throne, and another stone was put behind for support. Both were Govardhan Shilas. And then the Gopal deity was put on that throne made up of two stones. And then the Brahmanas gathered according to Gopal's instructions. Madhavendra Puri ordered for 900 pots of cold water from Govindakund, right below. From Govindakund, they were taking up 900 pots of cold water. And as they were collecting these pots, everyone was chanting beautiful kirtans and with instruments and things like that. And a whole installation, festival installation, took place. Some were singing, some were dancing. The From the entire village, the milk, yogurt, ghee, everything was brought for the festival. And of course, they brought large quantities of tulsi leaves, flowers, and Madhavendra Puri, he personally began the Abhishek ceremony. They first dispelled all the auspiciousness. They bathed with oil and then with Panchagavya. Panchagavya means like cow dung, cow urine, ghee, yogurt, and milk, and then Panchamrit, and all of that. And then after the Mahasnan, they again massaged Gopal's body with scented oil. And after the deity was cleansed, he was dressed nicely with new garments, with sandalwood pulp, tulsi garlands, and all of that. And all the villagers brought the rice, dal, vegetables, just like they had the festival of when Krishna assumed the form of Govardhan Hill and said, Aniyor, Aniyor, and everyone was bringing everything. 500 years later, 4,500 years later, again the same festival was done. So, in this way, uh, the whole Annakuta ceremony for Gopal was performed by Sri Madhavendra Puri. Uh, and Madhavendra Puri and all the Vrajbasis, they were very conscious that poor Gopalji, this Gopalji is the same Gopal that we see in Nath Dwara. Srinathji. Srinathji, this whole pastime is about Srinathji. Srinathji is the same Gopal which Madhavendra Puri saw in dream, found the deity, and is now installing on top of the Govardhan Hill. And then from top of the Govardhan Hill, he was taken to Nath Dwara for further safety and security. So then they were said that, Krishna is the supreme person. He's the beloved of our hearts. But our perfection is only to the extent that we can please him. But the origin of all love and devotion is Srimati Radharani. Radha is not different than Krishna. So he said we should have a festival. He said how, with his inconceivable potency, that Sri Madhavendra Puri was able to perceive how Sri Gopal ate everything. So after that, there was also a lot of other descriptions of how in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita it describes how Sri Gopal deity was taken care of so nicely. But then Sri Gopal tested Sri Madhavendra Puri about his surrender. One day, Madhavendra Puri, after 2 years of installing Gopal, while he was resting, he had another dream. And in this dream, Sri Gopalji appeared to him again, the same boy. And he said, "You know what? In this province in Vrindavan, my bodily temperature has still not decreased because for years and years and years, I was just behind that bush and my body had become hot. And even though you arranged for 900 pots of cold water, it has still not made my body cool. My body temperature is still high. So now I want you to bring some sandalwood from the Malaya province and you smear the pulp all over my body. And this place is near Jagannath Puri in a place. And so please go quickly. I know no one else can do it, but only you can do it." So Madhavendra Puri immediately woke up and he said, "This is the order of the Lord again. I should go." He was only concerned with carrying out the desire of Krishna. He was not concerned with what will happen. He is not concerned about how I will do it. He was not concerned about whether I should do it or not. Only thing he's concerned about is I have to do it. That is real renunciation. There was a beautiful palatial temple for Krishna on top of Govardhan Hill, but Madhavendra Puri was still residing as a very simple uh, sannyasi. So then he was given the order, go to Jagannath Puri and bring some sandalwood back for me. Now, this is not a simple order. Today, if that order is given, we start booking our flight on Air India or Go Airlines or something of that sort. And we start saying, okay, from Vrindavan, I'll go to Delhi. From Delhi, I'll catch a plane, go to Kolkata or Bhubaneswar. And then from there, I'll go to Jagannath Puri and we get some sandalwood and then ship it back to us. It was not like that. He had to walk all the way from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri by foot, which means so many months going through jungles alone. And then he didn't even know where exactly to go to find the sandalwood that Sri Gopal wants. It was just, he completely depended on Krishna, completely dependent on Paramatma, and the Paramatma guided him how to go, where to go, exactly where. That is the real GPS. Today we need, if we want to go from one place to another, everywhere in the world we have GPS, and without GPS we don't even know how to go. But the real GPS is the Paramatma. Not just for the GPS for the direction of our life, but also for any direction, anywhere, even from going from one place to another. He did not know how to do it. He was inspired from within to ask this person, ask that person, find out where it is. Very difficult task. Alone, a lonely task. But he had full faith that if Krishna has given the order, he will give the facility to execute also. And without a moment's notice, he was willing to leave his beloved Gopal and go all the way to Jagannath Puri. And so he started east towards Bengal, towards Jagannath Puri. Before leaving, he made all the arrangements, engaged different people in different duties of the deity worship of Sri Gopal, and he started for Bengal. And then when Sri Madhavendra Puri, he arrived in Shantipur after months and months. He stayed at the house of Sri Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya had met Sri Madhavendra Puri. And Advaita Acharya then was very, very pleased to see these manifestations of Madhavendra Puri's pure love of conjugal affairs of Radha and Krishna. And he begged Madhavendra Puri for initiation. So Madhavendra Puri then initiated Sri Advaita Acharya, and started traveling south from Bengal. And there, before he reached Jagannath Puri, he came to a village of Remuna, where the same deity of Gopinath was situated, which Lord Chaitanya and his associates were discussing about. And upon seeing the beauty of this deity, Madhavendra Puri was completely overwhelmed. And Madhavendra Puri started singing and dancing, glorifying Sri Gopinath. And then, after some time, he went and asked the pujari, "What kind of foodstuff do you offer to the deity?" Because he was thinking, this is such wonderful, beautiful deity, wonderful standard of worship. Let me see what I can learn from here, so I can then uh, serve my dear Gopal also in the same way. And so Gopinath and Gopal, they are the same. He was always thinking of serving his Gopal in all situations. So he asked the pujari, what what do you do? And so what is offered? And so Gopinath said, well, not Gopinath, sorry, the pujari of Gopinath said, there is an offering of kheer in 12 earthen pots. And because this, after offering, it becomes so sweet, like nectar, we call this sweet as Amrita Keli. Amrita Keli is in 12 pots. It is a kheer that is celebrated throughout the entire world, and it therefore this kheer is like Gopinath kheer is very, very famous. Just like the Balaji Laddu in Tirupati is famous, like that in Bengal, this Gopinath kheer was very, very famous. Uh, so at that time, Pujari offered the 12 pots onto the altar, and Madhavendra Puri just had a thought. Well, if I could only taste the kheer, I could maybe make a similar preparation for my Gopal. But as soon as he realized what he was thinking, he immediately felt, "Oh, I'm so offensive. Krishna is honoring the bhoga. Krishna is eating the bhoga, and I'm thinking of eating the same food. I'm so fallen, so offensive, and I will not eat anything now. This is not." And he felt so bad about it, because he said this bhoga is for Krishna's enjoyment. That's why it's called bhoga. Bhoga means enjoyment, not our enjoyment. It's for Krishna's enjoyment. And then when he accepts it, it becomes prasad, it becomes mercy. And Madhavendra Puri was thinking, just a thought came to my mind while Krishna was eating, I will not eat. He was feeling so guilty, so remorseful. And he started chanting with such humility to beg for forgiveness for this. Because even though he was a pure devotee, for pure devotees, even a thought that comes, because as long as we are in this material world, thoughts of enjoyment will come in our body, in our mind. That's not a bad thing, that a thought of enjoyment comes. How we react to that thought of enjoyment is what decides whether we are advanced or still immature in our Krishna consciousness. Because the thoughts of enjoyment, even Yamunacharya, he said, Yad avadhi mama cheta Krishna padar vindayo navanava rasa uditum rantemasit. Yamunacharya, the spiritual master of Ramanujacharya, a grand spiritual master, he said that since I have started performing devotional service, Yadavadi Mamacheta Krishna Padaravinde, since the lotus feet of Krishna, I'm meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, Navanava Rasa Udita Rantumasit, newer and newer rasa I'm experiencing. Tadavadhi Nari Sangame Smaryamane. And when I think of material sense enjoyment, Bhavati Mukha Vikaraha Sushtu Nishti Vanamcha. That my lips curl in distaste and I spit at the thought. So even such a great devotee as Yamunacharya, he is acknowledging that these thoughts do come to his mind. But how he reacts? He reacts by his lips. Just the thought make his lips curl in distaste and he spits at the thought. That is how a great devotee, a pure devotee responds. So this thought of enjoying the bhoga came to his mind, and he thought, his lips curled in distaste. He said, why am I thinking of this kind of an enjoyment when a when a place is very, very clean? Even if there is a spot of dirt, immediately it's visible. But if a place is already dirty, it's all garbage there, the same amount of dirt, if it is put there, it doesn't make any difference. So the heart of a pure devotee is like that clean place, pure heart, clean heart. And that's what Lord Shiva is actually saying, Srila Prabhupada is saying in this purport. The last line: only after accumulating many pious activities in various births does one get the opportunity to personally associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, since only the pure can reach him. He is the Supreme Pure. That's how Srila Prabhupada ends this purport. And Sri Madhavendra Puri, his mind was so pure that a little thought of even uh, enjoying the bhoga which was being offered to Krishna made him feel so, it became so obvious in his mind. For us, we start with the thought, oh, what am I going to eat? I want to eat this. So I will prepare what I like and then I will offer it to Krishna so that I can eat it later. The prasad. Our thought sometimes is already contaminated. But here, even though Madhavendra Puri was having that thought to for the service of the Lord, he was wanting to taste just so that he could make a similar preparation for serving Gopal. He still felt that this is offensive. And uh, so then he uh, he was feeling very, very guilty. He started chanting Hare Krishna, crying, and then while chanting, he just slept. And in his dream, Gopinath came. Look at the great fortune of Madhavendra Puri. Gopal came in his dream twice, and then Gopinath is coming to his dream, and he said, Madhavendra Puri, please get up and open the door of the temple. I have reserved one pot of sweet rice for Sri Madhavendra Puri. I'm sorry, this dream actually came to the pujari. And this pujari was told by Gopinath that I have kept one pot of sweet rice for Madhavendra Puri. And this pot of sweet rice is behind my cloth curtain. Just, you will not be able to see it. You did not see it. I did not, I hid it from you. But there is a sannyasi named Madhavendra Puri. He's sitting in the marketplace. Go out, take this sweet pot of sweet rice and deliver it to him. And so this pujari immediately woke up from the dream. And I beg forgiveness, it wasn't Madhavendra Puri. The dream was from the pujari. And he took his bath, he went to the temple, he went behind the curtain, he found the hidden pot of kheer behind the deity. He was like, wow, just like the dream. And so he took that pot of kheer and he went outside and he said, is there anyone called Madhavendra Puri? Who is Madhavendra Puri? Please take this pot. May the sannyasi, whose name is Madhavendra Puri, please come and enjoy this wonderful pot. This is from the Lord himself. And he started saying so many wonderful things about this person named Madhavendra Puri, that Gopinath personally has stolen the kheer just for him. And he started asking all the villagers, are you Madhavendra Puri? Are you Madhavendra Puri? And in this way, the glories of Madhavendra Puri was going all over Remuna. This is the arrangement of the Lord, that he, even though he glorifies his devotees. And then Madhavendra Puri, he came out very humbly and he identified himself. And then the priest, "You are Madhavendra Puri?" He immediately paid obeisances, prostrated obeisances to Madhavendra Puri, and then related his dream. And then Madhavendra Puri, he became absorbed in ecstatic love. He was thinking, Krishna is so merciful. I am so offensive still, and I don't deserve it. Still, Krishna kept this for me. This is how a devotee reciprocates. Sometimes we may think, oh wow, I'm so great that Krishna saved the spot for me. I must really be great. That's sometimes the thought that first comes to our mind. But here, but we should battle that thought and come back to reality and understand, no, 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 I'm actually offensive. But even then, Krishna is giving this. So I should be now grateful, and we should be filled with this feeling of gratefulness. And then Madhavendra Puri, he was also a bit embarrassed because now everyone was glorifying him. And Madhavendra Puri said, now I should just honor the prasad and just leave from here immediately, as soon as possible. Because a devotee, to hear his own glorification is an austerity for the devotee. So, out of humility, Madhavendra Puri did not want to become famous. He did not want to do anything with this. He just left after that. And then walking and walking, he finally reached Jagannath Puri. And in Jagannath Puri, he had the darshan of Lord Jagannath. He was in ecstatic love. And even in Jagannath Puri, before he came, his fame had spread in Jagannath Puri. Everywhere, every town, every village, before he arrived, his reputation already reached there. And everyone came there, they greeted him, celebrated him, and Madhavendra Puri didn't like this. So then he wanted to leave Jagannath Puri as soon as possible, because he had come to just take darshan of the Lord, but people were honoring him as a great devotee. But this he felt insecure in that glorification, because he felt, I'll be distracted from the real service that I've come here for. I've come here for taking the sandalwood for Gopal. But this, all these devotees glorifying me and then asking me to bless them and all of that is I might just it might just attract my mind. I just have to get out of the situation and focus on my service. And so, for the sake of service to Gopal, he went. He left that place and he went to. He actually tried using his fame in the service of the Lord. And he said, "Okay, okay, okay. You are glorifying me. You are telling all these things to me, but please help me in my service. I have come here to get the sandalwood pulp." He told the servants of Lord Jagannath, all the great devotees there about the appearance of Gopal, how Gopal came in his dream, how Gopal is now installed, and Gopal has instructed me to get the sandalwood pulp. And everyone believed him because they had already heard that Gopinath specially took a piece of pot, saved a piece of pot for him. So definitely, Gopal must have instructed him to get the sandalwood pulp. And then all the villagers, all the devotees in Jagannath Puri, they helped him get the sandalwood pulp, and with get the sandalwood, and then with devotees, he with few servants, uh, he was sent back to Vrindavan. Now again, several months of journey, taking all of that. And he was willing to pay. On the way, he had to pay taxes, tolls, he had to release the papers, and all the paperwork he had to do. And he was willing to do that for the service of the Lord. And then finally, he reached Madhavendra Puri used his glory in the service of the Lord, just like Srila Prabhupada did. And Madhavendra Puri left and came to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, then he had sandalwood and camphor with him, which he collected on the way. Camphor he collected on the way, sandalwood from near Jagannath Puri. And then in his dream, again Gopal came and he said, just grind all the sandalwood together with the camphor and you smear the pulp on the body of Gopinath daily until it is finished. Because it took a long time, it was going to take a long time for Madhavendra Puri to come to Vrindavan, because now he had so many things with him. And so there were so many paperwork, so much at every place he was being stopped. So when he came from Jagannath Puri to Remuna, while going back to Vrindavan, Gopal came in his dream and said, you don't have to come all the way to Vrindavan. Just Gopal and Gopinath are non-different. Gopal said, I'm different from Gopinath, non-different from Gopinath. Just apply this sandalwood pulp on the body of Gopinath and I will accept it. And when the sandalwood pulp was applied on the body of Gopinath, Gopal's temperature of the body reduced. And so, in this way, this is how the glories of Madhavendra Puri was revealed to the whole world through this pastime of Kshirachor Gopinath. So, Shri Madhavendra Puri ki jai. At this point, we will end the lecture. If there are any questions or comments, we can take now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Beautiful class. Thank you so much. Prabhu, I have a question to ask.
Sure.
Prabhuji, you are telling in the beginning of the class that we should hear from the authority and we should not hear from anybody else. So what do you mean by authority, or how do I know that person is correct or wrong, whoever I'm taking guidance?
So, whenever that's a very nice question. In order to, especially in spiritual life, if we have to identify the authority, there are three things that Srila Prabhupada has given us, which the Vedas also say, is that we must have the sadhu, shastra, and guru. Guru, sadhu, shastra. These are the three check and balance system that we must have. If someone says that I'm the authority, I'm guru, I will tell you about spiritual life, I will tell you about God, then we hear from that person and we check whether what he's saying is it in line with what the shastra is saying, which means when the guru says something, he should always back it up with shastra. And if you read Srila Prabhupada's books, hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures, you'll see everywhere that he says something, immediately he'll back it up with Bhagavad Gita verse or a verse from Bhagavatam or different quotations. And not just shastra, whatever the guru says, it should be in sync with what the previous acharyas or other sadhus are also saying. Now, if we read shastra, then we must check with guru and sadhu, because there are three things: guru, sadhu, shastra. When we hear from guru, we should check with sadhu and shastra. When we hear from shastra, which is the scriptures, we should check with guru and we check our understanding with guru and sadhus, because sometimes we may read and we may understand something else. I remember the first time I read Bhagavad Gita, when I was not introduced to the devotees, I just got a book because uh, because my mother went to a program and they got a Hindi Bhagavad Gita, and she gave it to me. I was reading Bhagavad Gita, and I did not have any association of devotees, but what I understood from that Bhagavad Gita was completely different than what I understood after meeting the devotees and hearing from the devotees. Because it was Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, but when I read it without any proper context, of course I got the message: we must chant the Hare Krishna mantra, the we are servant of servants of the Lord and devotional service. But while reading Bhagavad Gita on my own, I was also interpreting Srila Prabhupada's words and instructions based on what I wanted to hear. But then when I came in the association of devotees, a lot of those things got clarified. So if we read anything from Shastra, we must check it with Guru and Sadhu. And if we hear anything from a Sadhu, we must check with Guru and Shastra. So if any authority is able to stand this test of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then we can accept. Because if you go out on the street and you ask someone, my dear sir, do you know about medulla oblongata? That person will say, well, this seems like a medical term. Maybe you should go and ask a doctor. If you ask someone on the street, do you know anything about the Einstein's theory of relativity? They'll say, well, you should ask a physicist. I know a little bit, but I don't think I'm an authority. But if you go out on the street and ask a person, do you know about God? They'll say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone has an opinion of God. God is light. God is this. God is that. I am God. You are God. So many different opinions. That time they won't say, you know what, about spiritual subject matter, you must go to an authority. So if we, in order to understand the Vedas, we have to understand how to understand Vedas from the Vedas itself. And there are four sampradayas that are authorized in Padma Puran: the Shri Sampradaya, the Kumar Sampradaya, the Brahma Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya. So anyone who says I am an authority, you should ask him, you're from which Sampradaya? Then he should be able to say, this is my guru, my guru's guru is this, my guru's guru is this, his guru is this, and this is how I've received knowledge all the way from Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada explains that very clearly. Sometimes someone says about God, we should ask him, who is your guru? Many times there itself they fail the test. They say, oh, I don't have any guru, I'm just saying it myself. Or sometimes they'll say, oh, I have a guru and he is from the Himalayas and such guru. Then you should ask, who is your guru's guru? And who is your guru's guru? And then he will, at some point, if it does not end or start from Krishna, then we know that this is not proper authority. And once we have identified who this proper authority is, then we should hear from them submissively, hearing from bona fide authority. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for detailed answer. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. It's really very instructive.
Thank you.
It was very nice question. If anybody have any questions or realizations, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Advait Chandra Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class and very nice point.
Hare Krishna.
And highlighting of the gurus of the Madhavendra Puri. Prabhuji, my question, I have one question, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhuji, it says in the end of the purport, only after accumulating many pious activities in various births does one get the opportunity to personally associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Mm-hmm.
So here it's talking about the Gopas, right? Prabhu, the Gopas and Gopis, who are the boys who play with Lord Krishna. So do they descend? Do some of them directly descend from the spiritual world to accompany the Lord, or these are the souls who have fallen and graduated themselves to be associate of the Lord.
Both. There are some who have, like, there are eternal, Siddha Bhaktas. They are eternally liberated living entities. Nitya Siddha they call. There are some who are uh, Sadhana Siddha, there are some who are Kripa Siddha, and there are some who are Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means they are eternally liberated, they are eternal associates of the Lord, they never fall down. Then they may come to this material world on the order of the Lord, but not out of rebel. Then those who are sadhana siddha are those who living entities who are in this material world and are they performed sadhana, they performed purification processes, they cried and begged and God, and then they were awarded pure love of God. So before going back home, back to Godhead, they assist the Lord in one of their leelas, one of his leelas, and then get purified and then go back home, back to Godhead. Those are sadhana siddha. And then there are others who are kripa siddha, that by mercy they did not do anything, like Jagai Madhai, for example. By Lord Nityananda's mercy, they got liberated. They became pure devotees. So they are like kripa siddha. In fact, in one sense, sadhana siddha is also kripa siddha, because we should not say that, we should not think that only because I'm chanting 16 rounds and doing my sadhana nicely, now Krishna has to give me pure devotional service. There is no has to. If Krishna is not pleased with our sadhana, even though we may be doing the facets of the sadhana, all the facets of the sadhana, but not doing it in a mood to please Krishna, and Krishna is not pleased, Guru is not pleased, then we can keep doing our sadhana for lifetimes. The whole idea is to please Krishna by our sadhana and our seva attitude, seva bhav, and then Krishna will be merciful. Krishna may become merciful because he's pleased, and then he may award us. There is no guarantee with sadhana siddha also. So therefore, sadhana siddha is only that we are doing our sadhana to attract Krishna's kripa, Krishna's mercy. That is also a form of kripa siddha only. But yes, the short answer for your question is both. Nitya Siddha and Kripa Siddha. Oh, sorry, Sadhana Siddha. Both are there in Krishna's pastime.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice explanation. Thanks a lot, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. How do we know whatever we are doing, whether Guru Maharaj and Krishna is pleasing with the things what we are doing, Prabhuji? How we come to know? Because directly we don't get the instruction. Maybe through devotees we get, but how could we determine whether Krishna is pleasing with my service or not?
Vandana Mataji, very beautiful question. Thank you.
Well, this same question was asked to Jananivas Prabhu one time, and he said that when you eat prasadam, you know when you are satisfied completely. No one has to come and tell you, hey, you are satisfied now. No, you know. You tell others, oh, it's enough. Now I don't want to eat. I cannot eat more. Similarly, uh, when we are actually able to please Krishna, because we are his part and parcels, we will feel that transcendental pleasure within ourselves. We will experience that pleasure in such a way that we will be easily able to give up the pleasures of this material world. That's when we know that we are pleasing Krishna and we are advancing in devotional service. That's one way, but ultimately it is also in pleasing the devotees, being in this mood of servant of the servant of the servant. You said that you are not able to meet Guru Maharaj or Krishna, but you only come to know through devotees. So if you please those devotees, your senior devotees, senior god brothers, um, then you will be able to actually please Guru and Krishna. So if you please Guru's representative, Guru is pleased. If you to please Guru's representative, you have to please the Guru's representative's representative. And then you know that in this way everyone is pleased. We feel that only if we like when Guru visits our temple or our community, then the many times it's seen that the relationship between the god family becomes sour, because everyone is thinking, I want to serve Guru, I have not served Guru for so long, I want to serve, I want to serve, I want, and everyone is fighting that I want to serve, I want to serve. And in this whole thing, if one disciple gets the opportunity to serve, other disciples feel bad about that disciple. Oh, why he or she got opportunity, why I didn't get opportunity. But that's not the spiritual mood. That's opposite of the spiritual mood. That is, we are taking material mentality into the spiritual world. It's not helping, it's not pleasing the Guru, it's not pleasing Krishna when he sees within our heart that we are having that mentality. We should be of the mentality, if I get an opportunity, I will serve the Guru directly, but by serving, by assisting in serving others, Guru will be pleased with me anyways. The spiritual mentality is, I want to be the servant of the servant of the servant of Guru, and then Guru will actually be pleased. But if we say, no, 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 I want to be servant of the Guru, direct servant of the Guru, and that's when I will, then yeah, we may fight our way and be near Guru, but consciousness wise, we are very, very far away from Guru. Physically, we may be separate, closer to Guru, but consciousness wise, we are not. Srila Prabhupada once, a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, how can we don't get your association so much, because Prabhupada had started traveling all over the world, and he would visit temples in New York and London only very few times. And so devotees started asking, we how can we be close to you? So Srila Prabhupada said there was a mosquito who was sitting on Srila Prabhupada's hand while Srila Prabhupada was sitting on the Vyasasana. Srila Prabhupada said, this mosquito is closest to me. But what is this mosquito doing? It's only sucking my blood. So do you want to be close to me like this? Rather, if you serve me in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant, then you will feel me to be close to you. And then he gave his own example that I met my Guru only 4 times. But today but I never felt that I was ever away from my Guru. So if we are constantly meditating on the Guru's instructions, and every service that we are doing, we are conscious that we have a talk with Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, this is for you. Prabhupada, I'm doing this for you. And we consciously do it for him, rather than getting enamored by the intricacies of the service, which we have to. But before we start our service, if we start, Guru Maharaj, this I'm doing for you, for your pleasure. Please help me that I can do my best, so that I can give you the best result. Then, and whether Guru is, then it does not matter whether Guru is near or Guru is far. It is the heart to heart connection which is more important. Otherwise, if we are near to, if we are not following the instruction of the Guru, then the physical association of Guru is nothing but sense gratification. just like we want to be with a celebrity and get a photograph with a celebrity. It just boils down to that standard. So your question, as I understand, your question was um, about how we should be close to the guru, how we can serve the guru, how we can identify. Is that what your question was?
No, Prabhuji. Just my thing is how do we know how we are pleased?
Yeah.
What we are doing is pleasing to Guru and Krishna.
Yes. So if we are pleasing the representative, the point I was trying to say is directly pleasing Guru and Krishna does not necessarily mean that we are pleasing them, but pleasing their representatives and being in the mood of actually pleasing other devotees is also uh, a way of pleasing Krishna. If they are happy, we know Krishna is happy. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yeah. If nobody has any question, can we end the call here? Okay, if nobody has questions, we'll end the call here. Paying obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees. Vancha
Tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam.
Bhavanebhya Vaishnavayam. Mataji, we have Navadvip class now, Mataji. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we have Navadip Manjul Parikrama. Please devotees be on the call.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class. We are very grateful to you. We look forward for your session again in future, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.